Sup guys, today I am doing a bunch of little fun stuff between the two cars. Little stuff that I've been putting off, and then later tonight we are going to go street drifting, but in reality it was actually last night. I'm just gonna put the footage at the end of the video so it makes sense, like with daylight and stuff. Let's get started! Nicole's most important thing with her car right now that she wants me to do is put new struts to hold up the hatch, because she'll go to load groceries in her car and then the hatch will just slowly start to fall, and then it'll fall on her head, and then she gets knocked out unconscious and just kind of like lays here for a while. And then she's got to text me, and then I got to go pick her up, and it's terribly inconvenient. So I'm gonna change those out first so she stops getting knocked out and being unconscious, because that's not cool. I've just been using a tripod to hold it up. Should be fairly easy. There's just like a little ball here, and then just a little bolt down in here. Replacement ones cost anywhere from like $30 to $80, depending on what you're getting. I got Nicole some cool carbon fiber ones, just because, why not? Blech, just like that. I think the easiest way to go about this is to do this one up here first, because the bottom one's kind of hard to get access to. Whoops, probably should have had a support on this side. With that other end out, it makes it very easy to get to this little bolt, so then we can just go like this. The replacements have balls on each end, which is kind of interesting since the other ones just kind of like had a bolt on one side. It's important to make sure these little ends are tight because they came loose. But I think, in theory, dead camera. Even just one end now is enough to hold up the trunk. Sounds so nice. Nicole's hatch cable's also been broken, so before, whenever you would shut the hatch, it wouldn't actually stay shut. And it would actually be like permanently open, so anyone could get inside the car. Kind of sketchy. The pin on the end of the cable was actually broken, so the little lever that used to be here did nothing. I thought about trying to use like one of the barrels from a bicycle brake cable, but I couldn't find any. I actually have a spare cable for my car, but I couldn't find it. So I took one of those little things from a bicycle brake cable and then put like a little spacer with a nut on here. So at least in the time being, she can operate this with her hand and it'll pop the trunk, and then she can push back in so it'll lock the trunk. Because before, with just like the broken piece of wire here, it was nearly impossible to do. I really hated this like gauge setup on the column in Nicole's car, so I'm taking it off, and I might actually cut it in half to see how that looks with just one gauge. I like cut the back half off, and I'm gonna try to run a wire so I can have a light on this gauge here, which is kind of annoying, but it shouldn't be that hard. I've been trying to trace out the wiring to figure out kind of what was wired to what, and I'm gonna reuse some of the existing wires to make my life easier. Right now, I'm just pulling off all the paneling so I can feed the wires through here and get a light to this gauge so she can read her water temps at night. The reason there's probably no light in here before, which I just found out, is that the bulb like sticks out the back of this thing. So I'm having to like trim a little hole to get it to fit. Alberta's gonna weld this front bash bar on for me just so it doesn't flex anymore. I'm almost done with the wiring on the gauges. One other thing that I wanted to do, but I might have to wait until tomorrow, is put in these little lights that I have, which I might actually convert into turn signals by putting like some of those chrome bulbs with orange indicators. I had to finish up in the morning, but the gauges are all set now. I deleted the second pod that had oil pressure because we're not running oil pressure with stock ECU and stock pretty much everything. And then I cleaned up the wiring a little bit by the Mickey Mouse cluster and wired an LED to the back of this one. It's not switched, it's just kind of like on whenever the car's on. I might switch it to a switched in the future, but for now, that way at night she'll be able to see her temps. There's actually a couple of little lighting things that I wanted to do to my car for today's video, but the wiring of the gauges in this car took me so much longer than I expected. And the other A-pillar piece was shot too, so I had to take one from my car to put one in that actually had like good clips so it would stay in place. But anyway, that's that. Let's go to Mexico and let's have some fun street drifting. Got word that a crew of people are heading over to the Mexican border to cross and do some street drifting, so we're gonna go check it out. Haven't been out there in a while. It's insane how humid Florida gets. Side note, I think one of my favorite things about the new paint job is how it looks at night. I don't know if it's easy to tell, but it just pops so much. It almost looks white at night, but I can assure you it's definitely not white. There's something so special about drifting at night, and I can't explain it, but just the feeling of seeing cool cars at night sliding around, just hearing all the sounds of drift cars, it's just magical. I don't know how else to explain it. Like it almost brings me back to Japan in the mountains, just hearing my car idle at night. I love it. I don't have a dome light in my car, but I figured out that I can actually put my iPhone up where the dome light used to be, and it works perfect for like putting harnesses on and stuff at night. film any clips.
We didn't film any clips. I don't got like.
one little lap.
I don't got one lap. Should I not be filming at him?
What did the Mexican police say?
He said the Mexican police. He said as long as we stay in the parking lot.
No. He wasn't Mexican. I'm just making sure they understand that we're in Mexico.
Yeah, as long as we don't street race on the street, because he saw a wild Camaro on the loose.
Oh yeah. Well, they're about to run.
Yeah, does he know we're drifting? No, he said it's okay. He said it's okay.
Matt made the trip out to Mexico. He's been killing it. I'm gonna get a clip of your next lap. Okay. Can you get a clip of my lap real quick in Mexico? In Mexico. Hey.
I don't know how to turn you off. How do you turn off the camera?
Matt's car's on E85 now. He also only drinks corn juice. Are you drifting with your spare wheel in the back?
Yeah, I didn't feel like taking it out. There's two in there, and the jack, and my tools.
Is that what gives you all the extra grip?
Sweet board things that I made today. Yeah, it gives me the extra grip. You know, it just really sets it down in your back.
I thought that's what your spoiler does.
No, this. No.
God, Matt's so good. That was some generous smoke. Got a cool little turnout here. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. Want to be a cop car? These are cool. Matt's car, of course. E36. Really cool looking S14. There's a little bump I found. It's kind of early for an entry, but it felt really cool and I made it work. So I'm gonna film a clip of that because I'm really stoked on it. So this concrete right here has like a little bit of a lip. So last time I like kind of entered here and it felt really cool, like weightless. Yeah, Matt. I love this guy. And now his fuel smells like corn, so how could you not love him?
I came in a little hot and I was like,
Oh yeah, it seemed like you had a lot of speed. It's fun though, isn't it?
oh yeah.
You got to get on power to pull yourself away from that curb.
Oh yeah.
If you like panic, you'll slide into it.
I don't. Well, I started like going. I was left foot braking a little, and I was kind of like braking. And I was like, yeah, okay, and I powered out.
I want to see you enter down this ramp.
When you said